Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. Today is Monday, February 19th, 2018, vlog number 49. And I got something, a nice review for you today. So stay tuned to what I have recorded earlier on today. I'll finish up with a review. So yeah, I saw Black Panther tonight. Wasn't planning to see it, but I went anyways just because I was kind of bored. Um, yep, pretty crowded theater. A lot of people in here. It's gonna be filled up pretty soon. So expect a lot more people to get here. I never understand. Iron Man, the first Iron Man, came out in what 2008, 10 years ago. And there's still people that go to see Marvel movies who leave before the credits are over. There's always extra scenes, always extra scenes. I don't understand. And it was good. I enjoyed it. It definitely had a different kind of feel to it than most Marvel movies. Um, it still had the the fun of Marvel movies, had the comedy, had the action, of course. Um, and what it did have, kind of like kind of like what some other Marvel movies have done, is that um, for me, there's some Marvel characters I know nothing, if not very little about. Um, so with this one, it makes you interested in the character um, of Black Panther, and makes you interested in their world. Um, it's set in the fictitious African nation of Wakanda, um, and they're technologically advanced compared to pretty much the whole world, and they have been for a long time. And they're just like a hidden nation. And my cat isn't leaving me. Um, um, so, that's a basic, you know, backstory. Um, and of course, in the backstory, like Black Panther, he's the king of the country. Well, he was a prince. His father was a prior Black Panther. Pretty much, the whole lineage of kings. They choose. They all assume the mantle of Black Panther, and they protect the country. Um, so the new Black Panther, um, you know, this is his story of him trying to protect his country, but yet it kind of it puts an interesting and different story that I didn't expect. Um, that it kind of delve into the past of his father, and a mistake that he made, um, and something that he has to, the son, the Black Panther, T'Challa, he has to kind of reconcile it and come to grips to it, and his consequences, of course. Um, and so overall it was a very, very good movie. I enjoyed this a lot, um, and it makes me kind of excited to see more of the characters. I like the characters in this movie are really cool, and they're very unique compared to most movies you see. A lot of people will say, oh, because like the majority of cast in this movie are, they're black, they're African American, African from all over the world. They're not just African Americans; they're Africans from all over the place. I've read before that, um, they got actual Africans from like Africa. They have some from Europe, some from all kinds of different places. So it's pretty much a global cast, um, and it just the whole kind of um, you know what should I say, like all the actors that play in these roles, and you really feel like that um, they have this country, and the country's role in the world stage is kind of conflicted, and you can tell some of them think it should be different. Some of them think that for the protection of the country itself should change. And this actually puts the protagonist, Black Panther, and the antagonist, which I'll try not to spoil this movie too much as I'm saying this. Um, you know, it kind of gives you an understanding of where the antagonist is coming from, um, and so, and the if you really look at it, it's you can side with either side, and you won't feel bad about doing it, And of course, when you look at both sides, you could see the benefits and you can see the downsides. Um, and so that's something that's definitely different. You know, um, a lot of stories, a lot of books, a lot of movies, they say the best antagonists or the best bad guys in these stories are the ones that think they're still doing good, that they're still doing something right, but from for one reason or other, they're um, it's not good. It turns out to be misguided, maybe a different a wrong way to go about it, and that's usually the best villains in movies are ones that think they're doing good, and that's the villain in this movie. And it's interesting because they kind of give you a well, I'm not gonna say that because that's kind of a spoiler. So it's you do get to like this antagonist. I liked him. He was a cool dude. He was just a really cool antagonist. He was no bullshit. Um, yeah, he was very much, um, you know, doing what he needs to do, no matter what it takes. So if it takes just flat out just killing people in his way, he'll do it. Um, you know, um, so if I had one kind of nitpick with the movie, I don't know if I want to say this because it's kind of a not really a spoiler because I mean at the end the Black Panther has to win. It's a comic book movie. Um, so Black Panther himself, he's kind of conflicted with himself because he, like the audience, kind of feels bad for the antagonist. Um, but one thing I was kind of missing at the end is that there wasn't really. I almost kind of expected a type of apology to the antagonist before the end of the conflict, but he didn't do that. Um, he did. He did kind of do something to honor him, which that was good, and it was especially good that because of the actions of um, the antagonist, it brought about change in the country of Wakanda. Um, and um, it was just overall, you could kind of think about that he did what he set out to do. He was successful, even though he was beaten at the end. Um, Again, no surprise, he's beaten at the end. That's not a spoiler. Um, but in a way, yeah, he kind of wins. Not in the methods that he was going about in his, because like I said, he was kind of ruthless about it, and he didn't care about stepping on people to get ahead. Um, One thing I would say, what I liked about the world that they built up for this story, like Wakanda, the country, they kind of set up the backstory at the very beginning that you know long ago there was pretty much these five tribes in Africa that consisted of the country. One of the five tribes didn't like the direction that all the tribes were going with the whole like buildup of technology due to having vibranium, this mythical metal that um, leads to um, their success as a country and their technology and their advanced stage. Um, they don't like that direction, and they kind of leave all the tribes. They're not, they were a united tribe, system to make the country, but one of them left, and they kind of formed their own little tribe. But like you get to see this tribe throughout the movie, here and there, and the main guy from that tribe, he's just freaking hilarious. He was a cool character. I wish I saw. I wish I. You wish you kind of see more of that character. I did, um, but um, yeah. I mean, that was just a cool part. I just wanted to mention that. Um, when you see him on stage, he's just funny. Um, but overall, what I do kind of like about it is, um, you're kind of interested in how this will play out in upcoming Marvel movies, because we know the Avengers Infinity War is coming out within a few months, very soon, um, and it's gonna from trailers, Wakanda's gonna play a big role in it. You get to see parts where like a Wakanda army is kind of fighting against Thanos' army, so um, it kind of lays a groundwork of um, Wakanda's place in all of this, and it's very interesting. Um, so, um, what else? Um, there's also a trip that, like, not to uh, distract from this movie, but before it, there was a trailer for the new Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So that kind of also makes me interested in too, because that movie seems to be coming out after Infinity War. So, I mean, it's obviously connected. What, how is it going to be like in connection with Infinity War? Um, and if you think about it, it kind of gives away that somehow, almost by prediction, Thanos is not going to win at the end of Infinity War. Because if Ant Man takes place after Infinity War, I mean, it might take place before, but that'd be just confusing as hell. If it takes place after, um, the world is fine. Thanos didn't destroy the world or take it over or whatever. So, spoiler. Thanks, Ant Man. Um, Overall, like, if I were to give um, Black Panther a rating and compare it to the other movies, so let me just kind of run down a short list of my favorite Marvel movies so far, in no particular order. None of these are, some might be better than the other ones that I mentioned, but they're all. When I think of a good Marvel movie, these are the good Marvel movies. I like the first Iron Man movie, that's for sure. Um, I liked Avengers. Um, I liked Captain America, the second one, Winter Soldier. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, and I like the second one a lot, but just not quite as much as um, the first one. Um, I like Thor Ragnarok. That was a good movie. Um, I'm forgetting one. The first Ant Man movie was alright. Um, Not as. I was never a big fan of Ant Man, so um, it it was entertaining, but not one of my favorite ones. The two first Thor movies were entertaining again. Wasn't too crazy about them. They weren't my favorites. Um, and as a minority opinion, I did like the second Iron Man movie. Not too many people do. But I like that one. Um, Captain America: Civil War, not too bad. So where would I put it? Put Black Panther and all that. I would have to say that it's up there with the likes of how I how I, it's not as funny or like a fun time, like not it's not the same type of fun as a Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor Ragnarok was. Those were really fun, not quite campy movies, but they're just a good entertaining time. Um, I think because um, Black Panther had more of a serious consequence going on, that it had couldn't take itself too funny. Not like Thor Ragnarok or Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's not as it's not on that same level of entertainment. You know what I mean? It's not as fun and quirky. Um, so it's up there with Iron Man for sure. Um, it's up there. I'll put it up there next to Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor. Um, so if I were to grade Marvel movies on a 10 scale, my favorite ones being tens like Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd say this one would be a solid 9. I hate grading on scales, but that's the easiest way to kind of give my rating. So yeah, it definitely makes me interested in the world. I want to learn more about the story and the backstory, and see what's going on with it. The technology they show is pretty cool. Um, it makes me interested in how a lot of it works, but you can kind of draw parallels with regular technology that we have. Of course, they're a lot more advanced. Um, I like the character relationships; those are good too. Again, the story, the story is just pretty captivating. Um, Now, this might be showing a little side of me that I was almost going in there afraid, only because of the trailers of the movie's soundtrack. Um, I'm not a fan of rap or hip hop at all, and that's just my personal preference. And I was afraid that this movie would have too much of it because the trailers have it. Um, but um, this movie doesn't really have too much of it. It's more, it's very African esque sounding music, very tribal. But of course, it does have moments in there, especially when they show the antagonists, that it is kind of like that hip hop beat, that very steady hip hop type beat, that I don't mind. It fit. It didn't. It's definitely a different feeling than all the other Marvel movies, of course, because of the way the music sounds. Um, it definitely gave its own flavor, so I can't fault it for that. Two other things I forgot to mention in my initial review. One thing I kind of enjoyed about this is that even though yes, it was a Marvel movie, other than showing flashbacks from the prior movies that Black Panther was in, they didn't really hint on or show the other Marvel characters. Um, you don't see Iron Man. You don't see Captain America. You don't see none of that. Um, Although, of course, just like any Marvel movie, there's always end credit sequences. This one has two of them, and then they tie into the other movies. So at the very end of this one, there was one that shows a character from another movie. I'm not gonna say it, but um, watch out for that. Another thing I forgot to mention is that I like the kind of design of this movie, like the art and the character designs are pretty cool. I might have mentioned that. I forget, but they're definitely very unique looking. Very good, very unique vibe to them. And of course, they're very African in nature, and the art direction really nailed that. I think so. I give them props for not being afraid to explore that type of art, direction. They've you don't see that too much in movies, so yeah. Now, there's one other thing I want to talk about for this review. I kind of thought about even talking about this, but I was like, I might as well mention it. What the hell's wrong with people? Why can't they let a movie stand on its own, be entertaining on its own? If you don't like it for whatever reason, because you either don't like comic book movies, you don't like the characters, or you're simply a racist and you don't like seeing predominantly black casts on a screen. What the hell's wrong with you guys? So there was stories coming out of trolls, internet trolls, posting tweets and other things on social media that showed pictures of people, and most of these were of women beat up, black eyes, blood coming out of their heads, and their tweets and the posts on social media claimed that it was, I saw Black Panther and I got beat up because I'm a white person going to see Black Panther. These were all fake. None of this happened. None of this fucking happened. Why? Why troll the internet like that? This is why this country is so freaking divided. Because we just have people that just want to cause chaos. For what? What does that accomplish? Does that accomplish like people just trying to spread the rumor that, or the notion that if you have a crowd of black people were assuming that you're going to see Black Panther opening weekend, the theater is going to be predominantly black. Maybe in some places, maybe not in other places. I could say in my theater, yeah, there's probably a little more black people than I normally see at movie theaters, but it was a whole mixture and sounded like everybody had a good time. Anyways, why propagate a notion that they're going to be, they get in a group, these black people that watching this movie, they're going to be violent because it's in their nature. Black people are going to be violent. It's so ignorant. It's so ignorant. I'm tired of it. And what? No, it's really the bad thing. And I thought about this earlier today. Because those people are trolling, it kind of gives a boy who cried wolf type of scenario, like, vibe to it. Because what if, by chance, something did happen at, the weekend showing of this movie? On either side. If, say, either, for whatever reason, a white person did get beat up by some black people, or maybe some black people get beat up by a crowd of white people, or they're just some asshole that went in there, unfortunately, because of the state of our country, just went in and started shooting people. Because of these troll comments on the internet, came out with these stories, these fake stories, like almost immediately as soon as the movie hit, like on the Thursday night, like prior, like midnight showings. People might not believe them. Like if a real story did happen, they're like, well, it might be another troll thing. Look, here's a story of someone got shot in the showing of this movie, That might not be real. Oh well, and it's just it's a bad idea. I'm tired of people doing this shit for no goddamn reason, and they need to cut the fuck out. That's my piece. This review is getting pretty long, so I'm sorry about that. So overall, if you like comic book movies, if you like fun, take any inner politics out of your mind, and just go see it. If you don't like comic book movies, if you don't like fun movies, don't worry about it. Go see 50 Shades or something, the new 50 Shades movie. That piece of shit. And enjoy your miserable life. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed my review. I know it's pretty long. Again, I don't do my vlogs here on as a script. I just say whatever comes out of my mind. So, I was thinking about it as I was thinking about doing this, about what I was going to say, but that's about it. I didn't write anything down. Now I'm blabbing, making this longer. So I will say, everybody have a good night, or have a good day, I should say. I'll talk to y'all later, and I love you.